Okay, we're within a note here. You can see we got some images. We're going to come back to this because I want to show you around the notes portal first. So let's go back to our main file by clicking this button here. Takes us back to the main file. Now we have this portal down here where all of our notes and all of our conversations and all of our tasks exists. Let's go back to notes. In order to create a note, you just click Add New. If you were in Conversations and clicked Add New, it would create a conversation. And if you're in Task, same thing. Click Add, and you get a new task. Task Test. Let's go back to Notes. And let's just open this one. To open any note, as you can see, we make it easy for you to see where you're at. To open any note, you just click View. That'll take us right back where we were with our images. There's a lot of things to know about this, but first and foremost, you put your text here. If you click on any one of these images, it'll bring that up in this area, which is great, especially if you got a big PDF document. To get back to your text, you just click this, and you're back to your text, just like that. And a lot of times you want a different layout for different purposes. This is the general layout that I used mostly, but you can see we've got 3 different layouts here. So let's click this one. If your note is somewhat image based, you might want to choose this layout. And the great thing about FileMaster is whichever layout you choose, we've got room for some more images down here. We'll show you how to do that in a minute. But what's great about FileMaster is whatever layout you choose, when you come back, is exactly as you left off. Again, some notes are more image-based. Some notes are more text-based. I don't want to always have to choose the proper view. I just want FileMaster to remember it, and of course it does. And the setting is note-specific. Each note will be set to the layout that you choose. Here's a large image view. For large images, maybe if you're doing some design work and you want to show your client some designs, that's awesome for that. Let's go back to the standard view. You also see we have a keywords box here. So if you type in some keywords, it makes it really easy to find any note. We've got an expiration date in case there's an image in here or a document in here that has an expiration date, and you just set that. And eventually, maybe by the time this video is done, FileMaster will give you a little pop-up that reminds you when anything expires. We'll just get rid of that for now. If you have a note that has a website that is pertinent to that note, you just type it in here. Let's say www.file-master.com. And to open that, you just click the icon. And of course, the website pops up immediately. Very, very handy to have this within each of your notes. Same thing with the email. Put your email address in here. Now, let's open an executable document. What is an executable document? Well, it's like a Word document or an Excel document, something that opens up in a program as opposed to an image that just opens up into a viewer. Okay, we've got a proposal right here. It's a numbers document because I'm working on a Mac, but it could be Excel, either or. And again, to bring this into FileMaster, we've got 2 choices. We can click the Add button and navigate to our desktop, choose it, and click Insert. I'm going to cancel that for now because I'd just like to drag it in. And now you'll notice it's a little different than an image. You're just going to see an icon. Why? Because it's an executable document. It's not an image. Okay, in order to work with this document, you've got 2 choices. You can click the viewer, which will open up just about every document within its native program, or if that does not work, like some CAD programs will not allow you to do this, then you've also got the download option. So we're going to do both. So we've got our document here. We're just going to click this icon, and now we have our document in its native program, which is numbers. And we can make our changes and then save as to our desktop. We would save as version 2, and then we would drag the new version in over this one to replace it. The other option is click the download link, and it downloads it. Again, we would call this V2. Click Save. And now we've got V2 here on our desktop. We make our changes. And again, we can drag it down here. So now you have version 1 and version 2, which can be handy, or create a new note with version 1, or just drag it over this and it's going to replace it. And now instead of V1, we have V2. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Imagine for a minute. Suppose this entire proposal was a blank proposal that you wanted to use for your customers. Suppose you also had letterhead, eviction notices if you're a landlord, or whatever. You could have any number of documents in here, and when you open it up, it leaves the original as a template, creates a new one, and then you use it wherever you need it. So you've always got your blank documents within FileMaster. Very powerful. Let's go back to our other note. This is an active or non-active note. Let me show you that. The beautiful thing about FileMaster is we can have hundreds of notes if we like to. The trouble with hundreds of notes is organization, being able to find a note when you need it. So we give you this active or archived option. If you want to archive any note, let's say how to lock a file. We're going to archive that. We just choose archive. And now it's gone. It's out of the list. We no longer need to see it. Now, if we want to see it, we can just choose archive right over here and it'll show all of our archived notes. You will use this a lot. Trust me, this comes in really handy. I'll show you how later on in another video. Let's make it active. It disappears from the archive list. We go over here to active, and there it is. Another great thing about the notes is putting them in order. You see, I've got these numbered in order. You don't have to worry about the title of the note to put it in any certain order. You just title it any way you want and put it in any order you want. So let's say we want this one, watch our main video. We want this up here. We don't have to resort everything. I've just got infinite amounts of numbers I can choose, so I'll just make it 1.1. Or anything I want, 1.2. Anything, we'll put it right there. Man, that's fast. It makes it so easy to sort all your notes. Now I'm going to get rid of it. It's going to go back to default, which means it's going to pop right back down here where it belongs. Okay, ratings. We have a rating system for notes, and we also have a rating system for files. So for instance, let's say you're doing research on a product, maybe some analytics software. There's lots and lots of those available, and I have looked at probably several dozen of them. And many times before we had FileMaster, I found myself looking at the same software yet again. Had I had FileMaster and had them entered and rated, I would have known very quickly which ones to not waste my time looking at again. Open up the note and maybe find out it's a pricing issue or whatever. This will save you tons of time. This will help you to research, analyze, and catalog anything and everything. Very powerful. I use this feature all the time. Here's another incredibly powerful feature, which is the search feature within the Notes, Conversations, and Tasks portal. It enables you to organize and find any note you want, no matter how many you have. We have this great keywords field here that you can enter for any note. Let's just type in green. And when you come up here, and as you can see, green is the only thing that shows up. What's also incredible is that it works for archive notes as well. Click this little X to clear the search screen. Let's take, we'll just get rid of this. And let's just take this how to create multiple FM files and we'll make it archive. So it disappears from the portal. We no longer see it. And you can see here, active note 7, one archive note. Let's go look at our archive note. Here it is right here. Now let's type in blue. And let's go back over to the active field. So we're only looking at active notes. Our archive note is still hidden. And we'll look for blue. And there it is, even though it's archived. Very, very powerful. Let's make it active. Now we'll go back and look at our active notes. And And we'll go ahead and get rid of this keyword because we don't need it. And you can have as many keywords in here as you want. We could have done a search in the body of the text, but what we found out is there's too much text. You do not want to search for something only to have 50 notes pop up. So instead, we created the keywords fields, which works great. So when you do a search, it searches the titles and the keywords. Very, very powerful. Now, the dates are automatic. I rarely ever change them. This really helps you because when you take notes, it's nice to know when you created the note from time to time. Now, this expand button, why do we have that? Well, lots of times I have files that have dozens of notes, and this little portal might be a little small for me to look at. I like big pages, so we've got the expand button. You just simply click it, and it takes your portal and makes one large page. And this is an awesome page where you can manipulate your notes, change the titles, the sorting, whatever. It just gives you a great place to work. Everything else is the same as before. Let's go back. Conversations, we talked about that. What is this for? If this file had something to do with the vendor and I had conversations with my vendor, I would darn sure want to have some conversations. Auto-dated, we can sort them as we want. We could give them a ranking if it's a very important conversation. In our keywords here, maybe you might have a keyword like refund or guarantee or delivery date guaranteed, whatever you want to do for keywords. We'll be fine here. For tasks, this is great because now your file becomes a little project. You just type in the name of the task. The allotted time is, how long do you think it's going to take? Maybe 5 hours to do this, or maybe it's 5 days to do this with a start date. We'll start it today and propose that we're going to end it, maybe on the 2nd or something like that. And we can assign it to other folks as well. So we have a record of who's assigned this task. And we can assign this to anyone we like within our organization. And in another video, we're going to show you how to share, it's right here, the sharing feature, with anybody in the organization. In other words, you can take this entire file and share it with anyone you like. So if you have a task assigned to them, they'll see it as well. Again, we can sort them just like any of our notes. And as you can see, we've tried to keep everything similar. We've tried to use 1 or 2 layouts for everything you need so that it's not so confusing, so that anybody can jump in and use FileMaster at any time. Within a couple of minutes, you know exactly what to do. So that's it on the Notes portal. I hope this has been helpful. We'll see you on the next tutorial.